Hi, everyone. A very warm welcome to this session of Let Us Talk It, Older Youth Groups live webinar. We are here today with another topic, but what our whole desire to make an empowered and informed community stays very strong with our professional webinars, which happens every Wednesday from 12 p.m. EST. We try to incorporate as many speakers as we can, potentially 2 or 3 speakers, and let the information be there out there in the community so that whoever thinks it is important on some issues which have been forgotten and which we can again revive. It's a right platform. So if you are joining for the first time, please make sure that you share the word around, and you can obviously join our youth sessions, which the prep sessions happen every Tuesday and Thursday. The older youth prep session happens from 4 p.m. EST and the younger from 8:30 p.m. EST. And all the information you can get from our website, LetUsTalkIt.com, and you can even register there by going to LetUsTalkIt.com/youth. And for today's topic, we have the art of collaboration. It is said the art of collaboration is about uniting several yet equal partners who share a common vision and mission to contribute their strengths and create something grander than one person can do alone. Many quotes, many ideas have people have around collaboration, but you will be surprised to hear what our youth have to say about the art of collaboration. So we have a fantastic group of panelists here, and today the panelists are Mahati, Vivan, Arush, Hasni, Nihar, Niharika, Pehel. For the first time as a panelist. We have Virat for the first time as a moderator. A very shy guy, but he was the one to say yes to being the moderator. And we are extremely hopeful that he will do a wonderful job. So all the best, everyone. Over to you, Virat.
Okay, hello everybody. In this webinar, our topic is Art of Collaboration. We'll tell you the what, the whys, and the hows of it. And I'll go into the table of contents on the next slide. So, we have the table of contents here. It's my first time moderating, and so there's not much to say about it. Let's just dive right in. We have first about us, where we just talk a little bit about ourselves. Next, we have our topics. We talk about each and every panelist will talk about their point of view or their topic that they chose was in the webinar, and the conclusion. We conclude off, and finally the interaction and Q&A. So here we go. About us. Hello everybody, my name is Virat, and I really like playing around with science experiments and doing especially things with electronics and others. And I've even done a few things on actual computers before. And earlier I went into a class about custom PCs. So it's science and technology is like the type that I would really like. Next, we have Nihar.
Hi everyone, my name is Nihar Tonta. I'm currently a sophomore at Rochester High School. Some things I enjoy doing are magic, playing video games, and stuff like that. Today I'm going to be sharing with you my experiences of how I became a better team worker and how I contribute more. Thank you, that's all.
Hi everyone, my name is Hassani and I'm a 7th grader at Ruther Middle School in Michigan. And some things that I enjoy doing are playing tennis, doing beach booty dance, and watching Netflix.
Okay. Next we have Pahal.
Hi everyone, my name is Nahal Kalra. I'm a 7th grader and I love to solve Rubik's Cubes and I like to watch Netflix too. Thank you.
And next we have Vivan.
Hello, my name is Ivan, and in this webinar, I'm going to be talking about the difference between cooperation and collaboration. Things I like to do are playing with the Arduino, writing, reading, and playing. Yeah.
Okay, and we have Niharika now.
Hi everyone, my name is Niharika. I'm a middle schooler at STEAM Academy, and some things that I enjoy doing are reading books and riding my bike.
Now we have Mahati.
Hi everybody, my name is Mahadi and I am a 7th grader in Ruther Middle School in Michigan, and some things that I like to do are painting and reading.
Now we have Arush.
Hi, my name is Arush and I'm a 7th grader at Baker Middle School. Some things I like doing are reading books and watching TV.
Okay, so that was all about us, and now all of us are going to be talking about what we thought about collaboration. We have Vivan first.
As I said, as I said, I'm Bhavan, and I'm going to be talking about the difference between cooperation and collaboration. What is the difference? I mean, most of you have probably used this word interchangeably, saying that you're collaborating with someone and cooperating with someone, and you probably think that they probably mean the same thing. But as you can see, I'm demonstrating to you that they are not the same thing. So let's get into it. What's the difference between cooperation and collaboration? First of all, in cooperation, you have mutual respect. Everyone is seen as equal, they're all collaborating to the same exact thing. Actually, it's cooperating, since I'm describing cooperation now. They're all cooperating, and everyone is exactly on the same exact level. Equality and mutual trust. Mutual trust in collaboration, it's not like everyone is equal, but everyone knows that they can trust each other to give information, and it's mutual. The information they give to others will benefit. And then for cooperation, you need transparency, meaning that you need to be able to tell people things without actually talking to them. Like, I'm not saying that you have to use Messenger or Outlook instead of using Teams or talking face to face. I mean that they can tell what you want to do. They don't need to talk to you. You guys, like the people, know they have a plan and everyone's going to follow. Nobody needs to tell what they're doing. In collaboration, not everyone's doing the same thing. So vulnerability is involved, meaning that they can break chains, they can get off. They might say things that they normally wouldn't say to others. Because, I mean, you need to trust the people who you're collaborating with, right? There's a big example coming up soon. In cooperation, there's shared goals. In cooperation, everyone is trying to achieve the same thing or similar thing. In collaboration, there is shared values. Shared wait. Okay. Shared values is when everyone doesn't exactly go for the same goal, but go for having like everyone has value. But I'm not saying it's mutual respect, but everyone knows that they want the same thing and they have the same thing. They have the same contracts, they have the same office, they have the same everything, almost. And collaboration is independent. Everyone is working to achieve the same goal independently. Collaboration is where they work together. Now, it looks like I'm put independent for both. It was just a typo. Actually, it's supposed to say interdependent. So, um, in collaboration, everyone is working together for the same goal. And the cooperation is short term, like a school project. Everyone won't be there for the whole entire time helping you in the project. On the other hand, collaboration is long term. You'll see what I mean by that. In cooperation, you're not necessarily making stuff, you're just sharing things among the crew. Like I said, I might have told you that an example of cooperation is a school project, but sharing ideas. In the school project, are you making up a different project? No, you're actually just sharing ideas on what to do for the project. And for collaboration, you're generating whole new ideas. Like if businesses are collaborating, then they're just going to create new types of goods and stuff like that. So let me move on to my examples. So for cooperation, school project is a great example because it's mutual respect. Everyone has a part to play in the school project, and they will help you toward the project, right? And transparency. They know what you're gonna do. It's just a small project that everyone has the instructions and shared goals. Everyone is working on the project. Independent. It's independent. Everyone will play their own part. They're not actually working on the same part, um, like together. And then it's short term. The school project won't last forever, would it? So it's short term. And you're actually sharing ideas. Like I said, sharing ideas. You're not making a new project. You're going off the school project. And collaboration has a great example. It's It's called COP21, Conference of Parties 21st Conference. 195 countries, that is almost the whole world, they addressed climate change. What were the topics? Well, it was their goal. They talked about the goal. The goal, well, they agreed to hold global warming well below 2 degrees. And that is they're going to get at least 1.5 degrees Celsius. 2 degrees they think is high for the climate change to do. So then there's burden sharing. Developed countries which pollute for longer actually take the lead for emission cuts because, well, they need to. And they encourage small and developing countries to go on improving efforts to grow their country because small countries don't have a fully developed economy. If you don't have energy, if you don't have things to provide the economy, that's just going to collapse. That's why they encourage developing countries to go on, because if they're not going on, then if they're not like moving, then having anything to support the economy, it's just going to crash. The whole country will go down, which is very sad. So then there's financing. Rich and developed country The rich and the developed countries will together donate 100 billion to the cause of climate change. Now, this doesn't really apply for the small countries because, again, because the small countries don't really need to spend money. They will in their own country. Okay, so can you hear me? Can you move on to the next slide? Okay. To conclude, I have a quote. Great things in business are never done by one person. They're done by a team of people, by Steve Jobs. Although he said great things in business, I think that this applies to real life. Great things in real life are never done by one person. They're done by a team of people. This is a great quote for this topic of collaboration. I think you think so too. So, yeah, I'm done. Oh, you're muted.
Sorry about that. Hi everyone, I'll be talking about the importance of collaboration. You've probably heard of the saying, 2 heads are better than one. Collaboration and teamwork is a skill that we all use in our day-to-day lives. Collaboration is how a big idea becomes a reality. There's a quote that represents this. Alone we can do so little, together we can do so much. This quote explains how collaborating or working together achieves more than working alone. When collaborating, every person brings their skills, talents, and experiences together for a common goal. And since every person thinks differently and has different styles of ideas, teamwork makes more creativity and innovation. Big companies, businesses, and any type of huge success is a result of collaboration. Next slide, please. Ravat, can you please move to the next slide?
Okay.
Now I'll be talking about examples of collaboration. An example of collaboration in our day-to-day lives that we can all relate to would be video conferencing. In this pandemic, everyone is meeting up virtually using Zoom, Google Meet, or any other video conferencing sites. Video conferencing is the simplest way of collaboration. People meet up to work on something together. They collaborate. If you are an online student, you will be familiar with breakout rooms. Breakout rooms are when the teacher put a group of students together to work on group projects or to solve a problem or discuss something. This is an example of collaboration among students. Another example of collaboration is team sports. You might play a team sport such as basketball, football, or soccer. Think about how the different teams in each sport work together to score points for their team. For example, in basketball, the players will pass the ball to each other to bring the ball closer to the baskets so they can score a point for their team. This is an example of collaboration among basketball players. Other examples would be raising money for charity. You might have been part of Girl Scouts and sold cookies to raise money for charity. Or you might have raised money for charity in your school. Another example would be team projects at school. I'm sure we've all put together a presentation or a science project together with working with a group of people at school. These are the examples of collaboration that we can all relate to, and thank you for listening to my presentation.
Thank you, Niharika, for that. That was really great, and I really liked the examples that you gave. And next, we have Nihar.
Hi everyone, my name is Nihar Santa, and today I'm going to be talking to you about 4 different aspects that I've learned that help me. And each of these, I'm actually going to explain a little story as well with it, okay? Let's get on. Criticism. So, when you're a part of a team, you shouldn't take everything negatively, but you should work on building it for yourself. Like, if someone tells you something and you don't Vera, could you please mute your mic? Thank you. Okay. So, criticism, it helps you build on to what you already are. It'll help build your character. There's a fine line between criticism and someone just being rude to you. Whenever you receive criticism, my father has always told me to take it with a smile and just learn to improve. When I first started working in groups, let's say in like 5th grade or something, a lot of people said, "Oh, you shouldn't do that. Make it like this." Whenever I would work on a slide, or whenever I would write down on a big whiteboard for science and stuff like that, they would say that I didn't have the proper definitions. So instead of feeling sad and bad for myself, I would see, what are they doing? How can I be more like them inside of this situation? What do they want me to do here? And based on that, I could work. But this also applies to something else, to stay on the same page. When I said you want to kind of be like them, it means that every so often kind of check if you guys are all staying on the same page and making sure that you guys are collaborating in the same way. If you guys are working on a topic, I remember this very vividly. I said that I would take the food portion of a culture project that we were working on. And then I said I would take the food portion, and someone else said, okay, sure. But then later when I checked in, they were also doing the foods portion. So we just spent an hour wastelessly working on the same thing when we could have gotten so much more done. So the second experience, to stay on the same page, is very vital. And making sure that everyone's doing okay and everyone knows what they're doing is also something very nice. The third experience would be listening. I know this might sound a little bit weird, but listening to people can actually go a long way instead of always trying to talk. This one time we were trying to figure out how to power a light bulb in science class. And this one person, he kept on saying, oh, maybe what if we do this? But everyone would ignore him and they would always move past him and they would just continue doing whatever they wanted. And these were group assignments, so whoever got it first would get a prize. Everyone kept on ignoring him when he kept trying to say it. So after like 10 minutes, I'm like, hey, can we listen to what he has to say? And so then he said what he was thinking about, and it actually worked. We didn't get first place, we got like last, but still. I was just thinking, like, if we only listened to him that day, maybe we could have actually won. Now, the fourth thing, saying stay positive. If something goes wrong, just because of someone accidentally doing something, don't get so upset. One time when I was working on a project with my friends, one of my friends accidentally deleted the entire project. I was definitely a little bit mad at him because I actually spent so much time on that. But I didn't really express it because if you get mad at someone, that won't really do anything. Only if you work towards that and work a little bit harder again, then you can build up off of that. Try to solve the problem as a team so that no one gets discouraged. If you yell at them, they'll just get discouraged and they won't do as good as they were doing before. Luckily, after he deleted the project, I was looking and I did have a copy of it, but I was still just very upset and worried at the time. But I realized if I just stayed positive in that moment, maybe in the future, I couldn't react like that. Thank you. Next slide.
Okay, now we have Hasani talking about her slide.
Thank you, Virat. So, hi everyone. I'll be talking about 4 different questions on collaboration and the different aspects of it, which some of them are teamwork, some of my own personal examples, and a little bit of communication skills. So, teamwork is when different people work together to accomplish something. Instead of getting a solution that they would on themselves, they could work together and get a quicker and more efficient solution. We use teamwork a lot throughout our everyday lives, whether it's kids or adults. Kids can use it in school for any type of project, while adults would at work for a problem that may come up. They would collaborate and work together to find a really good solution. Collaboration within a group can help solve difficult problems. Brainstorming is a good opportunity for the team to exchange ideas and come up with creative ways of doing things. By working together, teams can find the solutions that work best. Some ways they could collaborate together are to be open to everything and all the different ideas, along with being ready for the different situations you'll have to overcome. And another way is to really start conversations, or maybe even set up an interactive activity like a Kahoot, Gimkit, or a Jeopardy game or a quiz. just so you know people are actually listening, and that way you even get to know them better while you guys are being more interactive. I know that I always used to be shy and never talk first, but as I kept talking and started taking leadership, I got more used to it, especially in school and Let Us Talk It. So one example for that is I'm taking virtual classes this whole school year, and we are always on Zooms using the breakout room feature. So for those of you who don't know what that is, it's when the teachers put you in different small groups to work on an assignment, solve a question, or work on a project. And let me just tell you that every single time we went into breakout rooms, no one would talk. They would just stay muted. And since the teacher isn't there to monitor all of us in our groups, she couldn't tell them to start talking about what we were assigned to do. So I always start the conversation and lead the group every single time. But if I'm being frank, I used to be the person who would just sit there muted, but now I started to engage and actually work together as we now all collaborated and contributed to the project. I would take the lead and assign the different tasks to everyone so everyone had a take in it and the work was split equally. Now, why is working together as a team and collaboration with others important? It's important because teamwork promotes strong working relationships. It's a very essential skill from a kid to an adult. When you're an adult and working, it's way too important that you have the skills so you can work together with your colleagues. The 7 most important components of a successful team are that they communicate well with each other, they focus on goals and results, everyone contributes their fair share or has the work split equally, and they offer each other support. The team members are diverse and open to new things, and they have a good leader or good leadership. They're organized, and lastly, they have fun while doing work. So the last aspect I'll be talking about is how to improve your teamwork and collaboration skills. Some easy ways to do that are to engage in conversations, ask questions, and listen. Now on the next slide, thank you. Okay, so on this slide, I have some quotes which I think express the whole meaning of what me and everyone is talking about in the webinar today. So now on to the quote. Coming together is a beginning, staying together is a process, and working together is a success. This is an amazing quote was said by Henry Ford, and I really like it as it shows how much working together with others benefits you and others in your life. Thank you.
Thank you, Hasni, for that. And there were great examples on how and what to do if there's anything that you might have to work on. And especially, there's also a few of the few images that you picked out were really great. I'm sorry for that, Nihar. You also did a good job. Next, we have Mahati.
Thank you, Virat. Collaboration is one of the key elements that help make our society function. Without collaboration, a lot of our basic day-to-day activities would not be working. For instance, the governments, business, schools, and a lot of our day-to-day life. But what is collaboration to me? Well, let's take the time to look at these 2 quotes on the slide. I like working with people. I believe change can only come through collaboration. And a way to interpret this, changing our society and improving our world as a whole can only come through working together, as said by Alain de Botton. Furthermore, Steve Jobs once said, "Great things in business are never done by one person. They are done by a team of people." Although Vivan put this in his perspective, this is mine. It's really quite straightforward. The dictionary definition of collaboration is defined as the action of working with someone to produce or create something. But by seeing the definition, it made me think more. What are the parts to collaboration? How can I collaborate more? Where in society are they most prominent? And also how it affects our home and work life. So let's cover all of these topics, starting off with many day-to-day examples and various categories on the next slide. I have split them into 4 sections: music, fashion, brands, and also in the classroom, which most of us can relate to, with the feature of my personal experiences. To begin with the very common one, music. When you look around, whether it's on Spotify, billboards, or even on the news, you have probably heard and listened to a collaboration. You may have not noticed it though. In the music industry, collaborations are very common. A specific example could be Bang Bang by Nicki Minaj. In this song, Nicki sings with Jessie J and also Ariana Grande. In the song, they all have different parts and even sing together, which you can see that their voices blend quite beautifully. And to produce the song, they used the collaboration. Another example is that I Don't Want to Live Forever by Taylor Swift and Zing. They made this song together and completely wrote the lyrics together. Of course, they had to use collaboration, but in this example, there is another hidden one: MVs or music videos. They filmed it, and as you can see, they have a very strong bond. In fact, they made a behind the scenes where you can see how they got along and how they collabed, even if it was hidden. Some other examples that I won't go too into depth are Taki Taki by DJ Snake, but also featured with Selena Gomez, Azuna, and Cardi B, and also Are You Bored Yet by Wallows and Clara. Now let's go on to some brands. There are so many people that have collabed with brands. You can see influencers, social media stars, and also actual celebrities. Some of them might make a makeup palette or a sponsorship, but it comes from both parts. Some examples are James Charles and the brand Morphe. He has made a palette, and also Avani Gregg, who has recently made one. But some celebrities could be Hailey Bieber and Calvin Klein. And also some models that collaborate with fashion brands such as Gigi and Bella Hadid with Versace, which leads me to another specific category, the fashion collabs. People can release their own line of clothing, as I said, which could advertise the brand, but also give the celebrity money to the person. It is a collaboration on both ends and works together. Some other examples are the singer Rihanna and Puma. She released some new shoes out in about 2019 and made them more her style. In fact, even between your own brand, it is a collaboration. Take Kylie Jenner, for example. She has a YouTube channel in which she vlogs her daily work, and she has collaboration with her own colleagues and other brands. Look around and collaborations are everywhere. But let's cover one more topic, in the classroom. You have probably participated in class discussions, group projects, and etc. These are all collaborations between you, your peers, and yourself. I want to talk about my experiences with these. But let's start off with more than a bad one. It was actually very recent and ended on Thursday. But for ELA, we had to all take roles in groups of 4 or 3 and read a book together. The problem occurred about a week after it had started. I was in a group with student A and B. Student A was quite nice, and we made a collaboration between us and started working very well. But student B wasn't very cooperative. They had barely come to the meetings, and we had to keep on rescheduling each one. Maybe it was something that she couldn't control, but it affected me and student A. We had to catch them up, and because of this, barely finished our own work. Because of this, too, me and student A started not to work together anymore. Hopefully, we could do better next time. But another good experience was in the 6th grade. For science, we were studying the digestive system and had to make smoothies. I was in a group with 3 other boys, and it was a very good experience because everyone had come to agree, share ideas with each other, and collaborate. Because of this, we put in more effort, communicated regularly, and became successful. The result was us winning the first hour competition. I had mixed experiences, especially recently. So how could you and I become more collaborative? I have had 4 techniques on the next slide. Next slide. Starting off with sharing ideas. This is perhaps the most important one because collaboration mainly revolves around putting your heads together. If you share ideas with whoever you're working with and they're sharing ideas with you too, you can both generate new ideas that can help make the solution or project better. You should participate and share more opinions, feedback, and etc. Another one is working together. This one's pretty obvious, but not just cooperation and basic working together. I mean respecting each other's opinions, getting to know each other, and all while working. A third one would be putting in the effort. It's not going to be a collaboration or cooperation as much as they are different if you don't do any work. It's not going to become on your part and you will dump everything on the other person. If you don't understand anything or if you can't do anything, then tell them and discuss it and you can respect it. And the final one is to listen and communicate regularly. For you to keep on working together and keep making good collaboration, this will be positive for you and the other person. Hopefully, these tips helped you as they helped me. Now, let's conclude on the next slide. As you can see from the examples that I have provided before, it's easy to assume that collaboration helps us understand and put together ideas from our workplaces. Moreover, it leads the company or group as a whole to succeed at a higher rate. As a general consensus, collaboration helps with the overall coming together of ideas and goals, which will not only lead us to a better society, but us as individuals can also grow at greater heights. Thank you for listening, and I hope you found out some information.
Thank you, Mahati, for that. That was really great, and I especially liked the examples and tips that you included in your slides. Now, next we have Pehel.
Hello everyone, my name is Vahel, and I'm going to be talking about what collaboration is to me and how it affects our workspace and the benefits of collaboration. First, I'm going to talk about what is collaboration to me. So here you can see I have two quotes. One says, it takes both sides to build a bridge. To me, I think that means like it takes more than one mind to be successful in their goal. Second one says, unity is strength when there is teamwork and collaboration. Wonderful things can be achieved. This makes me think that if you come together and work as a group, collaborate, you can achieve like wonderful things. Next slide, please. Okay, now I'm going to talk about how collaboration affects our team and workspace. Well, number one, effective workers. For like many things we do, sometimes things like we really use collaboration and it's the only way to success. So for example, like if you have a project that is complex and demanding, we have to admit to ourselves that it's going to be hard and we need help. So a group effort is sometimes the only way out. If you have a team, you can divide your work and your heavy work into different parts and find creative solutions to tough problems and wrap your head around the bigger picture. And organizations that have a habit of collaborating are more likely to get to success. Next, we have viability. When you collaborate, you start to trust people and the environment gets more trustworthy, respectful. But if you don't collaborate, you use the trust, communication, and respectful environment and being able to ask questions. Like some people have a hard time like asking for help. And if you don't really elaborate and cooperate with people, they tend to stop asking questions and sometimes even lose their way. More flexibility. When collaboration improves, so does your organization's ability to handle change. Like some people, if their idea is really good, if that's what they think, they have a hard time letting go of it. And if you talk with people, they have like more chances of improving the idea or of letting go of it. Next slide, please. Here I'll be talking about benefits of collaboration. Number one, it allows the team to be more open-minded and communicate more. If you have a goal and your teammates are in a different mood and are in a different mood and they don't really think it's a really good idea, talking about it helps you a lot because that's when you know how you can improve it, how it can be more successful if you improve it. Second, ability to think long term. Well, sometimes projects just stay for like a short term and like people don't really communicate much in that short term period. But with collaboration, you can talk about like future problems and you can solve them as well in your project. Number 3, collaboration helps you see the bigger picture. When you're communicating with other people with different minds, you can find the bigger picture and solve
Pahel, are you okay? We can't hear you anymore.
We can't hear your voice.
Pahel, is
Yeah.
everything okay?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, okay, you can go now.
Repeat that, please.
Oh, the whole slide?
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay. No, it's okay.
No,
I'm
from
really
number
sorry.
3. It's from number 3.
Okay. Number 3, collaboration helps you to see the bigger picture. Well, when you collaborate, talk with other people, you see the bigger picture, and like some people, they only see like part of the picture and it's hard for them to improve their skills. But when you see the bigger picture after communicating, you know what your like goal is and how we can improve it. Number 4, it's like you can resolve conflicts faster by collaborating and thinking about why, like understanding the problem and solving it. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Pahel. You had really great quotes and you had a great picture in mind about what you were going to say. So it was a really great slide. Next, I'm going to be the one talking. So here I go. Collaboration. To me, whenever I start a topic, I need everyone to know what is collaboration. Collaboration, well, not everybody's know what collaboration is, what the topic is, and the topic is collaboration. So, yeah, here I go. What is collaboration? Collaboration is basically where you work with other people and you work and you make sure that everybody is on the same page and you are working on a single project together, which is going to be a long-term project and not just a short-term project. Like my brother said, it's not like cooperation where you just work on a short-term project like a school project. Long-term projects, like if you were with the sports team which were making it up all the way to the finals in the world class as soccer team, so then that's collaboration and not just cooperation. One example of collaboration is the pit crew of a racing team, and I'll go more into the examples in the next slide. So number 2, how to collaborate or how to become a better collaborator. To collaborate better or just collaborate in general with people, you need to have a specific thing in mind and you need to make sure that everybody has the same info that you do on this topic. So give everybody all the info that you have and make sure that they are also listening to you, and also make sure that you have a leader who's gonna be giving the task. And one really big thing is that collaborating does not mean that the leader does nothing. The leader also should assign himself a few tasks. Just because he's the leader doesn't mean he gets to do what he wants. Number 3, why should you collaborate? Collaboration can bring big things to happen. Like my brother said, collaboration of the countries, they gave some funds to the lower economy and they allowed them to do the fossil fuel things, and there was a big change in the world. So that's one reason why you should collaborate. Collaboration makes big things happen. So here we go. On the next slide, where should you use collaboration? We have virtually and physically. Virtually, one thing is Quizlet. there's a Quizlet type. It's basically a platform online, basically like Kahoot, but Quizlet has its own game mode where you have to work in teams with other people, and there's a chain of people. If one person gets it wrong, then all of you go back to the bottom, and you have to race and question yourself to the top. Next, we have schoolwork / project. If it's a long-term project that you will be working on a lot, I had done a lot of these before, and it's really good to use it then, because like without collaboration or cooperation, how are you supposed to get a project done? That's a really fundamental thing inside of a project. Next, we have the community. The community needs a lot of collaboration, like small communities or even and small scale groups which work together to do a specific thing, like even few people which just cosplay as kings and dynasties, they should collaborate together to see who's like the king or something. So that's like one thing. And we have Let Us Talk It. All of us here, we have to collaborate together, make sure everybody has the slides, especially the moderator as me. I have to do a lot of collaboration with everyone to see what's going on and to see if the slides are in right order. And we also collaborate on to see which type of slide we should pick. So it's a really great example of where we should use collaboration. Next, we have physical. One really big project physically is the Mars mission, or even just a space mission in general. Like if you're gonna go to space, then you need to work with the crew that you're going on with. Next, we have school project. If it's like a physical project where you had to cook something or some sort of creative physical show, well, then you might want to use collaboration there, because like if let's say that there was this person who's cooking something and there was this person cooking that same thing too, and then you both check on each other, and then it's like almost the end date, and then we review the project, and then we realize that two people in the group have been doing the same thing. That's gonna be a really big waste. Next, we have a sports tournament. So like I said, the soccer thing. And then we have a community project. Like if you were celebrating a holiday in a community, then you need to collaborate, think of where to keep the celebration, when to do it, and things like that, like how to do it too. And like I told you about the pit crew, they would need to collaborate together to see who does the tires, who refuels, stuff like that, to make sure that the racer keeps going and they'll win the race. The next one, I have a really big project of collaboration that is a really important one, the ISS. What can we achieve with collaboration, or what have we? Well, one really big example is the ISS. The ISS is the International Space Station, and it is a multinational collaborative project. And it involves 5 participating space agencies. We have NASA, we have Roscosmos, JAXA, ESA, and CSA. NASA, United States, Roscosmos did Russia, JAXA is from Japan, ESA is from Europe, CSA is from Canada. All these space agencies worked together, launched rockets, and assembled this huge space hotel in space, in low Earth orbit. It isn't really a space hotel, but it's a really big help to the world, because if we are gonna go to the moon and we don't want to spend that much energy and we don't want to spend that much money, then we can take the spaceship and dock it on to the ISS, where the ISS will give it the energy it needs Like, we just give the rocket enough of energy to get to the ISS, then the ISS can fully refuel the ship with energy. That's a really big help. And asteroid mining is a new concept. If things are mining, if we mine asteroids there, then once they bring it to the ISS, then we need to collaborate together to see who does what part of the controlling factors. And especially, like, any project in space generally would require the ISS in some way of some sort. So that was all from my slide. Now we have Arush.
Hi, my name is Arush, and today I'm going to be talking about what collaboration means to me and how you can use collaboration. So if you go on the next slide, I'll talk about what is collaboration. Virat, the next slide. Now, what does collaboration mean to me? I think it's coming up with ideas with your group, helping each other out, working on a big project for school, and getting everyone's participation and input. Many times, half the team works on the whole project while the other half does absolutely nothing. So it's very important to get everyone's participation. Also, solving problems together. When you work together, you also need to solve the problems that you made or someone else made. It's not just whoever caused the problem must solve it. It doesn't work like that. Everyone has to help. Now on the next slide, I'll talk about how you can use collaboration in your everyday lives. Now, how can you use collaboration? You can help someone out, whether it's a homework assignment, or helping them around the house, or painting their basement. You can also be open when you're doing a school project to others' ideas. Like Nihar said, one kid tried to keep telling his ideas, but everyone ignored him. And Nihar did ask him what idea he had, and it actually worked. And also let everyone work together. Like I said before, most of the time, it's just half the group that works on the project. The other half just works on the fonts and just design. And that's almost nothing. And also, don't borrow an idea, make your own idea. If you saw this really good idea from another group, don't use it. Like they made a graph on the increase of CO2 emissions because you're doing something about the environment. Don't use that same idea. Try and modify it a little bit, not just CO2 emissions. Make it amount of greenhouse gases or something different. And also, finally, speak out what you want to say. If you think something's wrong, then just say it out loud. You don't need to hide it. And once you're doing your presentation, everyone notices it's wrong. Just speak it out, and it's constructive. It's not diminishing. These are all very important to lead up to collaboration. Thank you.
Great slides, Arush. They were very good examples and very good points, and you were really straightforward, and we could really tell what you were trying to say, and it was really good view in my perspective. So now we have the conclusion and the interaction and Q&A. So we have everybody here. To conclude, we all talked about collaboration, our views about it, and especially we all said how collaboration is long term and it helps everybody out and it's really constructive and you would want to use it in every possible way that you would like to, because collaboration is a great thing and it's need to be shared along everybody or else nothing's gonna be done. So that was for the conclusion, and then we have the interaction and Q&A session. if attendees, you have any questions for our panelist, then you can speak out, and I also have a few that I prepared myself. Any questions?
You can quickly ask your the one that you have, Virat.
Okay, so if nobody's has any questions, I'm gonna move on to what I was gonna say. Well, I have one question for all of us. Were there any goals that you wanted to work on, like a long-term goal, and you wanted to collaborate with someone, and it was a really big project that you would like to see happen?
Could you repeat the question, please, once?
Okay. So, yeah. For my question was that if any of you wanted to collaborate on a big project that you were working on, then what is that project and what do you think that it'll help anybody, or just in general what that project is that you wanted to collaborate with a lot of people, or just few people, a project in general?
Okay, so basically, if you're saying that, I've actually, I'm actually in something else. Like, it's not something that I want to make, but it's something that I want to continue in. I'm in this organization which helps raise money for charity for a hospital in India, and I just want to continue doing that. And we've actually collaborated a lot and raised a lot. So we're always thinking what creative ways we can do it. And one thing that what do you call that? One thing that's very like cool in it is like whatever money we get, like we don't use any of that. It goes directly to the charity. So I just thought that like that's not a real project that I want to make. It's something that I'm in, but yeah, I think that's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good answer, and that does count. For the first time, we have a guest speaker as Pranav. So if you would like to say something about yourself, Pranav, then you can go ahead.
Wait, me?
Yes.
I don't really have that much to say. So, yeah. I'm 10. I'm in sixth grade. I go to Hart Middle School in California. Uh, I'm into, I watch TV and I love reading books. I usually watch Netflix. So, yeah, it's me.
Do you have anything about the question I asked, or?
No, not
Okay.
really.
I am the guest speaker, Pranav. Me. You got the wrong Pranav, sorry. My name is Pranav Maringanti. I like music. I like computer sciences, and I am participating in a lot of sports. So for something elaborating on your question, I actually am inside I am building up a project since sixth grade, and there's multiple projects inside that singular project. So in sixth grade, I went into a science fair that was a national level, and I made a smart cane that would help the blind in India. And I am continuing that project for 3 years. For my second year, I built a wheelchair that automatically will drive you to the destination that you desire by inputting whatever destination coordinates you want inside your GPS. And for the third year, this year, because of COVID, the science fair was shut down. So I would like to collaborate to work on another project with some of my friends and create another project that would help the blind. And for the broad question that everybody's been talking about, all the other panelists, if I wanted to elaborate on that, I would say the art of collaboration is also known as like the art of working together. The art of collaboration is used everywhere to accomplish kind of win-win mutual benefit situations. So talking on a much broader scale in the art of collaboration is used to keep the society and the economy together. With it, countries kind of work together and resolve their disputes. They bring in trade and et cetera, et cetera. Without the art of collaboration or the art of working together, the global economy would be completely annihilated. There would be scarce resources for everyone as trade would cease to exist and millions would get killed in war because of simple misunderstandings. In a more present scale, we collaborate to make sure COVID does not kill people or kill as much as we want, or sorry, kill as much as it can kill. So we collaborate by trying to help each other by spreading the word to wear masks and to social distance, and kind of step in situations where if your friends are having large parties or something, you kind of calm them down by saying, hey, you can't do that. It's yeah. So some experiences that I have with the art of collaboration and the art of working together are making masks. So while making masks, there's kind of like three sort of steps in mask making for me. So sometimes we actually make masks on our own and kind of spread it out to all the elderly people in our neighborhood, and also, you know, non-elderly people, but mostly elderly people, because they don't really come out of their homes and they don't have a lot of people to uh, depend on. So we spread masks by making them ourselves, knitting them ourselves, and spreading it to elderly people in the community. There's another where we collaborate with some of our friends to spread masks across the communities, like all of our friends' communities, my community, a lot of communities, and that's a small community sort of mask distribution. And there's a big community mask distribution that we do where there's face masks. We also knit masks, and all of these are for big hospitals and organizations such as like VT Seva and stuff, who distribute masks to a lot of people. So yeah.
Thank you for that, Pranav, and sorry about that.
It's okay.
That that was a really great point of view that you had, and we really liked about your experiences and how you felt about this topic.
I would like to add on to something that Pranav said. So he mentioned this organization called VT Seva, and I'm actually a volunteer in that organization, and we do a lot of collaboration to help like communities. And there's this one school that in India called Netra Vidyalaya, and it's a school for blind students, and we help raise money for that. But we also just give back to communities here in the US too. For example, our most recent project was raising money for foster dogs and stuff like that. So yeah, that's a way that I collaborate.
Good job, Pranav. You should really be a panelist in the next webinar.
Thank you.
All of you had great points of view, and this was a really successful topic, and I would like to say we have done a very good job. So yeah, if anybody has anything to say, then I can just.
Yeah, Virat, a wonderful, well done job. And as you said, yes, everybody did so good, and proud of you all and how you actually understood that and made Let Us Talk It, that pointer where collaboration is so seamless, and just you guys do it so beautifully, I should say. I mean, there has never been a situation where the contradiction, keeping my fingers crossed, should never happen. But yeah, wonderful I would say, the topic as well as how you tried to explain, each one of you. Wonderful job, everyone. Srini, do we have any one from the community who would like to share their experience? I see some new names. Adi, Inia, would you like to share your views? You can unmute and talk. Any?
Hi, I'm Adi and I'm in grade 4. And a lot of times during my classes at school, the teacher asks us to collaborate, and sometimes she gives us riddles that we have to solve together and collaborate to find the answer.
Right, very true. That the first idea of collaboration and the first learning of collaboration we do learn at school, even at home when we have a party going on, a coming up party, we have to all collaborate so that all the guests who come in feels invited, feels good. So yeah, everywhere we need that collaboration. Thank you, Adi, and nice to hear that. Any newcomers who want to share their experience or how they found collaboration helped?
I see Inya wants to share.
Yeah, please go ahead, Inya.
Hi, my name is Inyang and I am in grade 2. And my teacher, when she wants us to work on something together, like for example in math or something, she'll put us in breakout rooms and we have to solve it together.
Absolutely. I mean, very true, and I'm so glad that being at, you are in second grade, and I think your brother, who also said something. Yes, these are so important, and I think Hasni also pointed out how the breakout rooms are the places where you need real collaboration, need real talking. Yes. Any other views, comments, feedback from anyone? And for the younger, I mean, those who are, you're more than welcome to join the live webinar. And just for the information that we have a younger youth group, you can register going to our website, LetUsTalkIt.com/youth, where you can register there and under the youth enrollment. And we have a separate group for a younger youth group whose prep sessions are Tuesdays and Thursdays from 8:30 p.m. EST. And they have their live webinars alternate Fridays from 8:30 p.m. EST. So yeah, if you want to join, then please feel free to fill that registration form and then start joining the prep sessions, and we'll go from there. Just for the information, I wanted to let everybody know. And the older youth group has their prep session every Tuesday and Thursday from 4 p.m. EST. And yeah, after this live webinar is over, we will be taking 15 minutes to discuss about the topic for the next week, Saturday, older youth group webinar. So please, all of you who are here on Zoom, please stay back so that we can discuss for the topic and you can be part of the webinar next week. Okay, and anything else anyone wants to add? If not, then yeah, thank you everyone for joining. Thank you kids for doing such a wonderful job, and have a great weekend.